Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 10th of July, and on today's podcast, we'll be covering a Q post that left a lot of people shaken up and has a lot to do with baby fetuses and how much these evil people are selling them for. And we have an article here from the Daily Signal entitled, "In the Market for Fetal Body Parts, a Baby's Brain Sells for Over $3,300. And this is back in 2016, guys. So the price has gone up. This is why Planned Parenthood needs to be shut down. There needs to be parameters put on this to tighten it, because this is just basically a black market selling a spree, in my personal opinion. We'll also be going over some memes too. But before we do that, my friends, would you please welcome my new sponsor, Noble Gold. Hey there, fellow digital soldiers. Did you know that every year the U.S. Mint releases new coins into its, in quote, America the Beautiful 5-ounce coin series? This has been running since 2010, and they cover the kind of things that make America great, like our national parks and landmarks. Check out this beauty and the size of this coin. I can promise you it's the size of a tennis ball. It's beautiful. This year, the Mint has chosen to celebrate Lowell and the fight of the Mill Girls. War in the Pacific National Historical Park, War in the Pacific, the San Antonio Missions, and the River of No Return, the Salmon Valley Wilderness Park. These slices of American history and heritage are difficult to get a hold of, and they sell out quick. Incredibly, Noble Gold has managed to secure some, and as an Independence Day special, they are doing a combo of their best-selling Trump 2020 Freedom 1-ounce silver coin with one of the America the Beautiful coins at a discount of $25 for the two during July or until they sell out of these coins. This is a very generous offer, guys, and unbeatable value for such special and rare coins. Go to Trump2020.com and use the code TRUreporting25 for 25% off to secure yours today. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, it's good to have you aboard. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Before we get into today's podcast, you all know that I interviewed Ben Garrison, and he was invited to the White House. One of the greatest honors an American could ever have, but he had to back off from going. And this is why he released a statement today entitled, "Ben Garrison's Statement on the White House on the Social Media Summit," from July 10, 2019. Yesterday, I had a discussion with the White House, and we came to the conclusion that my presence at the social media summit would be a media distraction from the president's message. They were nice about it, but naturally, I am disappointed. Because I mentioned Soros and the Rothschilds in a cartoon, the perception from the ADL and those on the left is that I am blatantly anti-Semitic, a cartoonist, and they were all dancing a tantrum because Trump invited me. As a result, the White House invite was rescinded. I was asked to remain silent about the whole thing. I said I would remain silent, and I did remain silent. But then overnight, they released a statement saying Ben Garrison will no longer be attending. The news was on CNN World News and elsewhere. We are disappointed the White House released this news. I thought we would both be ignoring the entire thing. It is obvious to anyone with any common sense I am not anti-Semitic. I have received many emails of support from my Jewish friends. I'm not anti-Semitic merely because the ADL says I am. They are not the final word on such things. In fact, they continue to commit libel against me by having an altered cartoon on their website. It features a cartoon with the face of an offensive Jewish stereotype pasted over my cartoon. Pasted over my cartoon. My signature remains on that cartoon, and they are holding it up as an example of my anti-Semitism. The fake news media is only attacking me to attack the president. I will not let this stand. I will continue to draw cartoons that speak out against those who must be held accountable. I will continue to critique their actions and deeds. I will continue to support our president, Ben Garrison. And Ben, I know that that's extremely disappointing for you, and you're in our thoughts and in our prayers, and I'm so happy for you that you will continue to create these works of art, and hopefully one day you will be invited back. I'm certain that you will be. From educating liberals, a dear deep state, you can scrub the pictures of Epstein and Bill Clinton from Google, and you can use the fake news media to twist the narrative and tie Epstein to Trump, but nothing will stop you from facing the inevitable justice and punishment that God knows you deserve. So guys, here we go. This is the post 3405 from 17, and it says here, this is really hard to swallow. Fake news keeps you asleep, sheep, and fixed in a pre-designed false reality narrative. This is their narrative that they've created for us. Google altering search results to support the pre-designed narrative and make harder for one to learn the truth. Those with influence who challenge the narrative, a rebanned, shunned, threatened. Planned Parenthood is good in the kill box. That is the narrative. China is not a threat in the kill box. That is a narrative. Do you know the market price for a fetus? Correlation of market price in days old fetus baby. As age days increases, so does the value. The D's block the Born Alive bill because it gives them more money. It's lucrative to keep these babies alive and then sell them on a black market to donors, to for sacrifice, for age reversing experimentations. This is the kind of sickness, this is the kind of disease that we are dealing with. These people need to be eradicated. So one of the questions within this Q post is, do we know the market price for a fetus? So I did a little research and I found this right here, guys, from the Daily Signal from 2016. We can see here 38 fetal brains, 22,000, 5 fetal livers, almost $3,000, almost $3,000 for 3 fetal upper and lower limbs, over $7,000 for 12 fetal pancreases, over $7,000 for 12 fetal hearts. Republicans on the special House panel investigating the transfer of fetal tissue from aborted babies will present evidence in a hearing today that breaks down the price per body part. With release of this evidence, Republicans say they have enough documentation to show that several abortion clinics and middlemen procurement businesses may have violated federal law. It is just horrifying, Representative Marsha Blackburn, representative of Tennessee, who leads the House's investigation of the fetal tissue industry, told the Daily Signal. They are putting a dollar value on these organs from these children, unborn children, that they have been aborted. It is just beyond belief. According to Republicans involved in the investigation, a researcher paid a middleman procurement company over $3,000 for a fetal brain, almost $600 for a baby skull matched to upper and lower limbs. Why would you buy a baby skull? And I can tell you why, and this is just from speculation, but I guarantee you they're drinking out of it. I guarantee you. They do this stuff for ritualistic sacrifice. They are doing it to some kind of deity or archon. I'm not sure what they're doing, but it's sickening. And also, they paid almost $900 for the upper and lower limbs with hands and feet. The liberal left continue to push their radical agenda against American values. The good news is there's a solution. Middleman procurement businesses or companies that obtain tissue and other body parts from aborted babies and provide them to institutions or other organizations for research. Under federal law, the transportation of fetal tissue is based on a non-profit model. As we can see here, the same payments from researcher to customer to procurement business. So they add up. The money adds up, and these people know it. Pelosi, Obama, Hillary, so on and so forth. Any of these high-level Hollywood actors, they're all about it. The committee's document will be used today in a House hearing on the pricing of fetal tissue, including payments made from a middleman procurement company to an abortion clinic on a monthly basis. Those dollar amounts range from $6,000 to almost $12,000. August, we can see here almost $12,000. January and February of 2011, $9,000. January 14th, almost over $6,000. Over the span of a year, one research institution paid a middleman company $42,000 to obtain 38 fetal brains, 12 fetal hearts, 3 fetal upper and lower limbs, 5 fetal livers, and 12 fetal pancreases, according to the Select House Panel's document. Look at how much this adds up, guys. I mean, this is almost near $80,000 to $100,000 for this. The Select Investigative Panel on Infant Lives, as it is formally known, was created on October 7, 2015, when the House passed a resolution calling for a full and complete investigation regarding the medical practices of abortion service providers and the business practices of the procurement organizations that sell fetal tissues. And another thing, guys, that pops into my head is why that there's a hospital, and within a block or two, there's also a Planned Parenthood. This is what they do. They sell these babies and parts, these abortions, to Planned Parenthood to make a profit. In the most recent documents being released, the panel did not publicly identify companies or individuals involved in the transactions out of an abundance of caution. Yeah, out of abundance of caution, because these people go missing. You start to throw these people into the light, you end up with a bullet in the back of your head. Blackburn told the Daily Signal in a phone interview prior to the hearing, because the documents were highly redacted, the Daily Signal was unable to independently confirm the prices of each body part. However, the panel announced earlier this year that it was ensuing subpoenas to companies and organizations that refused to cooperate with the investigation. Those groups included STEM Express, Gannigan, Biomedical Research Institutions of America, the University of New Mexico, and the Southwestern Women's Options. Democrats on the Select panel have called the investigation, of course, a witch hunt by Blackburn and other Republicans who oppose abortion. Remember, this is from 2016 when the word witch hunt was so used. It was used so abundantly that that's what they were given. The upper echelon told all these Democrats and players to use that word to keep it in the mainstream. As the Daily Signal has previously reported, Democrats have condemned the panel's investigators for requesting the names of doctors, medical students, researchers, and others involved in the abortion and fetal tissue procurement in their industries, arguing that obtaining those names could make the panel, in quote, complicit in physical assaults or murders of these people. What did I tell you? But with the imminent release of the next round of evidence, Blackburn said she is hopeful Democrats, in quote, will recognize that we are taking every possible precaution in doing our best to fulfill the requirement that Congress has made of us. The 1993 National Institutes of Health Revitalization Act prohibits profiting from the sale of any fetal tissue. However, it is legal to provide and accept payment to cover reasonable costs for, in quote, transportation, implantation, processing, preservation, quality control, or storage of human fetal tissue. Among documents uncovered in the investigation is an image of a procurement company marketing itself to abortion clinics as financially profitable. The name of that company was also redacted. Questions about whether abortion clinics and middlemen procurement companies profit from transactions involving body parts and other fetal tissues from aborted babies were raised after a series of videos published last year, 2015. The hidden camera video shows officials at Planned Parenthood, which I've shown this on another video. It was so disturbing. Their affiliates discussing the buying and selling of fetal tissue with the middleman company STEM Express. Kate Dyer, the founder of STEM Express, told the New York Times in July that her company, in quote, obtained fetal tissue in accordance with the rules made by ethics boards at the institutions buying it. In that article, Dyer also quoted as saying the process of obtaining fetal cells is hard, expensive, and takes millions of dollars of equipment. Planned Parenthood Federation of America consistently has denied any wrongdoing and was cleared in multiple state investigations. In October, after facing questions about its fetal tissue donation practices, Planned Parenthood announced it would no longer accept any reimbursements as part of its tissue donation program. During today's hearing, called the pricing of fetal tissue, in quotes, Republicans were expected to call Brian Patrick Lennon, a former assistant U.S. attorney for Michigan, to testify as a witness. In his written testimony released in advance, Lennon argues that based on the evidence, an, in quote, ethical federal prosecutor could establish probable cause that both the abortion clinics and the procurement business violated the federal statute, aided and abetted one another in violating the statute of another law, and likely conspired together to violate another law. Republicans are also scheduled to hear testimony from Michael Norton, a former U.S. attorney for the state of Colorado, Catherine Glenn Foster, associate scholar at the Charlotte Lozier Institute, and CEO and general counsel at Sound Legal, and Senator Ben Sasse, representative of Nebraska, who is pro-life, among others. Democrats were slated to bring in Faye Clayton, a lawyer who formerly represented the Anatomical Gift Foundation, a nonprofit corporation that provided donated tissue to medical researchers. In her prepared statement, Clayton criticizes Republicans for, and quote, using the panel's subpoena power to compel testimony from healthcare providers and medical researchers, and for failing to subpoena David Daladin, founder of the Center for Medical Progress, the pro-life group behind the string of undercover videos targeting Planned Parenthood. The fact that the select panel has been using its subpoena power to compel testimony from healthcare providers and medical researchers who have better things to do with their time than Mr. Daladin does suggests the panel is not genuinely interested in the public policy at all. That was in quotes, Clayton says in a written statement. Democrats also were set to hear from Robert Rabin, president and founder of the Rabin Group, a progressive policy group, and Senator Jeanne Shaheen, Democrat of New Hampshire, a pro-choice lawmaker. Witnesses likely will be asked to respond to Blackburn and other panel members who the chairman said believe that it is more than likely that the payments to the abortion clinics and to the procurement businesses have exceeded reasonable costs. And guys, this is an old article, this is from 2016. I believe that when 17 starts to put this into the mainstream, into the collective consciousness with pictures as we've been shown that were very graphic, I believe that something is stirring. I believe that the pot is about to boil over, and we will start to see a lot of people being linked to Planned Parenthood, to black market sales, to murder, so on and so forth. These people make tons of cash doing this, and they are evil for doing so. My friends, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. We just hit 12,000 followers. It's a milestone. You can also donate to this channel by going to my PayPal or Patreon in the description box below. We also have a P.O. box. Guys, the merch is out there, TRUreporting merch. That's also in the description box below, the link to Teespring, where you can get all your TRUreporting gear out there. Guys, take care of one another, love one another, and expect more podcasts throughout the day. I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.